Hello, ladies and gentlemen, the Grand Spartan. Back with another episode of Empyrion. It's been a long time since I've done a recording. I've put in a lot of hours on the game since our last episode. And I got a lot accomplished. I created a base. Well, I didn't create a base. I just finished the base out that I had originally started. Pretty simple, really. Threw some glass around the outside. Let's turn our light on here so we can see a little bit better, so that you can see a little better. I have everything recessed into the floor now. This is just a texture that I stuck on top of concrete. Actually, you can see right here that this is... Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Can I not turn that black over there? I tell you what, I know I can do. Apply to whole block. Maybe it is black. Okay, well, anyway, so everything's recessed to have our fuel and oxygen tank, our ammo for our gun up top. Advanced constructor, regular constructor, all of that good stuff. Plenty of storage over on this side. Whoops, didn't mean for that to be red. Got a little crazy with the paint gun. Alright, then I'll take you, have a garden downstairs. Wanted to kind of get it out of the way, so put it down here. And look something like that. We'll go up top to the very tip top. And this is where I have access to my guns. And also have access to my small vessel. Of course, most of the time now I keep it on my capital vessel. I also painted the capital vessel. And let me go ahead and tell you, ladies and gentlemen, it's much easier to paint that capital vessel in space. Throw your helmet on. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Much easier to paint that sucker in space than it is to try to do it here on the ground. Of course, you can use your drone and go up and paint things. But I do highly suggest to go to space to paint your capital vessel, because it is a beast to try to get around to all little blocks and everything. So yeah, pretty excited to have that thing. And you know, of course, the last episode we were able to take it out for a spin. But it's really nice to get it all painted up now. So what I want to do today, I need to go back down into the base. Is I want to take over the abandoned mine. I'm going to show you how to do that if you don't know how to do that. I need a core. Oh, all of that sathium ore that we got last episode. Yeah, turned that into ingots. Got all of those and all of those. So we should have ingots for a long time. Well, I say a long time. The stuff goes pretty fast, honestly. But anyway, yeah, I did get that all turned into, of course, a while back, and I just haven't used much of it. We need a core. And we're going to pause this production here. Let me make sure I don't have a core somewhere. I do not. So we get this core made, and all right, get this core made, and we'll be in business to go take over that abandoned mine and make it ours. Did this on the server the other day, and worked out really well. Oh, I have production off. Here we go. I'm gonna take this core, and we'll just shoot up to the small vessel. Small vessel took a bit of a beating since the last episode. I had to replace a few blocks, and there's still a few blocks missing. Of course, it's hard to tell just from this view. I'd actually have to point it out to you, because I did, you know, replace a few of them, and then I repainted a few. So heading straight for the abandoned mine. Let's go over there to it. This is a pretty cool feature here, what you can do. as well use one of these landing pads. Here's something growling outside. Doesn't sound very friendly. So I think the generators were in here somewhere. We may have disassembled those, but yeah, I sure did. I took all of those things out. But essentially all you would have to do now that we've placed down this core, let's see if it says, yeah, no, that's a small vessel. We'd actually have to take off from the small vessel and look down at it. But this is ours now, and if you have a generator and a fuel tank with some fuel, much like we just had there, you can power this bad boy up, and it is your base. It is your base now. Oh, there we go right there. Look, press Y, the lights turn on. So we salvaged a lot of this stuff. You know, so there's not much left. But absolutely can make this yours. Do with it as you please. You could use it as a full-fledged base. You know, you could use this as your base moving forward, and you really wouldn't need to ever create another one on this planet. If you can get in here early enough, then it would save you doing what I did and just building a base from scratch. You just take this one over And of course, you saw what I went through to kind of get into this place. Took me a few trips and almost died a few times as well. But pretty neat feature of the game to be able to take this thing over. There's some, those are generators. Yes, they are. So those are the generators we're powering. So we didn't take them all. Wow, that's something that I can't take apart. Whatever that is, I bet you our drill would do that. Terrain removal. Yeah, it sure does. Look at that. Yeah, I've tried to remove this before. I wonder where it goes, if it goes anywhere. Most likely not. But that's it. And once we take off now from our in our spaceship, you'll be able to look down here and see that SPA, it's our clan base. I don't know about the drones, if they'll actually come over to this base now and attack it instead of the other one, which, you know, really wouldn't matter if they did. But I don't know how that works exactly. But I'll tell you, I went to outer space and there was a freighter that was right by the planet, and there was, well, if you come across this specific freighter, because there are many different types, there's a long skinny freighter, and if you take it from the back, you can take out the engines, and the core to that freighter is in the back. So you take it out, take the core out with some rockets or whatever, and it's yours. And the only thing is, you cannot take it over and make it your vessel. Old Crow and I tried everything we knew, and we put a new cockpit in it. You know, of course, we replaced it with our core, just like I did on this base. Did all those things, and it just said that you couldn't. And after 30 minutes, it will self-destruct. So you do have to get away from it after 30 minutes. You get a warning. You know, it tells you it's going to self-destruct. But there's a lot of good loot on there. I think we got an epic shotgun and, you know, a bunch of ore and that type of stuff. But you cannot take over the marauders or the freighters. Those vessels are... see, here we go. SPA, abandoned mine. Sire's now. It's all powered up. Now, of course, when we come back, it'll be dead because it'll run out of fuel. I didn't put very much fuel in it. But I just thought that was a cool little thing that you could do. Before I was scrapping these things down to just a giant hole in the ground, nothing but dirt, until I figured out you could do that. And I will still scrap some of them. You know, I'm not going to keep them all and make them into my base. I only need really one base, but it is kind of cool thing that you can do, especially if you're early game and you didn't want to have to create your own base. Now, this is another base over here. Let's look at the map. See what this is exactly that's so close to us. Logistics center, and what was next to it? Large residential complex. I'm sure we've been over these. What we'll probably do is go back into space again. I need to make some more rockets, for one. Yeah, we did come over here to these, I remember now. You know, the residential complex doesn't look as familiar to me. I'm sure we've been here. You know, the little landing pad and all. I don't know if you remember that or not, but I certainly don't. Let's just run into the one building here first. First building we come to, and see if there's anything in there. Maybe we came over here. I certainly don't remember this. No, we haven't been here. I thought for sure we had been in all of these buildings. Let's go ahead and eat and get this wellness up. So once again, if we had a core with us, you could take all of this stuff over the refrigerators. Everything would be yours to do with as you please. Really, really cool feature. I was, maybe it's not as cool as I think it is, but, right here you'd have a nice garden plot to take over. It's is what it is, but I thought it was something different from most games. You would not be able to take over some type of thing like this. So it looks like that might be the only generator powering it. We'll leave it. We don't really need the parts desperately right now. Nice little shower. I was going to see if there's some storage. There's some storage. Small med kit. We'll take that along with us. I hear a creature lurking about. Yeah, we won't hang out here much longer. I was just curious. I didn't think we had been into this place. Well, I kind of did. I kind of thought we had, and then walked into that first one and did not look familiar to me. Sure enough. Energy pills. We'll leave those behind. Cobra leaves. Thermal scrapings. I know what that is. Well, enough scavenging, I guess. We'll take a look around at the other buildings and see if there's anything else. Looks like it's worth scavenging. If not, we'll head on out. There's some kind of little creature out there trying to get to me. Well, that's kind of cool looking over there. Doesn't look like there's much in there, though. We won't waste our time with that. All right, very neat. Now, I'm almost 100% positive that we did loot the logistics center. That did look very familiar to me. In the village is where we went down and we're grinding out all our levels to cap out. So we certainly hit that. Well, let's go ahead and head on back over to our capital vessel. Now there are some other POIs that we have not touched yet on this planet. Some of the more difficult, maybe the Epsilon. Whoa, what are these guns firing at? Over here. Well, they were firing at me. Those little plant people, I think. Might not be a safe place to land in the middle of that. Look at that. All right. Well, that is that. Let's head on back down into the base, dump this stuff off. I think this storage right here is where we'll stick it for now. Well, we can't put the oranges in there. Well, that has a perish time. We'll stick all this stuff in the whatchamadoohickey. Can we make Fire moss. That does. Minus 50 food gives you stamina. Okay. Alright, well, yep, so the sun is coming up. You'll be able to see everything a little better than what I did here. Out on this area. Of course, I love black and red. So all the lights are red and all of the blocks are black. Haven't painted this yet. I don't know if I'll get around to doing that or not. Maybe at some point. But that's what the base looks like off from a distance. There's actually a prefab base that gave me this idea. Let's go to it right here. And I'll show you. Where is it? 1A. This one. Okay. So I built this one on the server. And you see the resource costs very low. It's not a whole lot to this one. No special ore like Sathium or Zascosium or any of that. But it's a large base inside. I mean, it has 18 grow plots, has 2 areas for a garden. Really cool the way it's rounded off, and 3 guns on top, landing pad for your vehicle. I actually made a hallway out on this side that looks just like one of these hallways with the glass out to my landing pad for my capital vessel. So it's great, but I didn't want to use a prefab this time around. So everything is concrete on the surface area. All of that is concrete. There's no steel. I did use steel for the guns to sit on up top, but that wasn't even necessary. I just, you know, if a drone were to attack or something. When drones attack. Alright, but yeah, that's what she looks like, all black. I like all my vessels to be black. Go stealth mode on them. But let's see. Most likely we could probably go into space. Something that I haven't done is I have not created a drill. Let's see what the drills, what it takes to make one of those. I'm not even giving out all the points to these things yet. Where's it at? Where is it at? A repair bay. Kind of need to get one of those. I've unlocked everything except for... Oh yeah, we did unlock the drill turret. Okay. So... Capital vessel... Drill turret. What does it take? Advanced CPU power coil. Does take one of those. It would save us a lot of time, though. We go into space, you know, we could strap one of those bad boys on. Another thing I have not done, let's go over to the capital vessel. I have not equipped any of the guns except for the 30 mils with ammo. So that's something I can do, and I'm probably going to stop the recording and start it back up as I make this ammo to put on here so that we're a little more armored when we go to space. Now, if I go... Okay, rocket turret. And that takes the 150 millimeter. Okay. And this is the 30 millimeter, so the 150 millimeter rocket. But I've done a lot of mining, a lot of things since our last episode. I've been pretty hooked on this game. So we want... Do I not have that unlocked yet? Under capital vessel. This would be the tier that is on rocket launcher. I sure don't. I mean, I don't know why. We don't just, with all the points that I have, don't just unlock all that stuff. Okay, here we go. So let's see if we make 10. Each one puts out 5. Okay. So that's only 50. That's not a lot. Let's bump that number on up a little bit. And we're gonna make those. I'm gonna stop the recording, and then we'll come back and maybe head out to outer space, see what's going on out there. If there's something that we can go get our hands in. May even take off to Let's go to the star chart here. I think it is Maspirin is where we need to go to get Zascosium. But I do not have many crystals yet made into pentaxid, refined pentaxid. So maybe go up to the moon and get that done. Maybe I turn the recording off while I do that, because it is maybe a bit boring to watch me do something like that. But we'll be back in just a moment. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a while since I last recorded. Went to the moon and spent a good bit of time up there. Whoa! Good bit of time getting the pentaxid crystals. Why am I not turning? I think I hit the Alt key to record, and that's not good. I just heard a piece get broken. So I was going to start the recording back up and perhaps make sure I still have my front thruster. Perhaps get this captured on video of me taking on this this base over here. Problem is their range is a lot better than my range. I have to get within 359 meters. Let's see if we can do a little flyby here. Not good, not good, not good. Alright, so we're not quite equipped to take that on quite yet. That's where all the drones are coming from over there. I have to do a bunch of passes to get that, but I don't think I am fully equipped to take on such a beast. Oh, there's one on the top we can take out. Oh, it looks like they may have taken out one of my rocket launchers. Well, that's not good. We certainly don't want to lose our front thruster. Be a whole lot more effective if I had... What's the range on this? The same... So we'll have to mark this and absolutely come back to get it another time. We did get ourselves enough pentaxid to refine. Oh, that's not good to hear explosions like that. Duck, dip, dive, duck. So what we're going to do now, we have enough crystals to refine. At least I believe I have enough crystals to refine. We're going to go back to our home planet. We're going to refine these things. I'm going to stop the recording once we get back there. And we'll get them turned into the refined crystal, throw them in the warp drive. And we're going to warp to another planet. And I guess we'll just learn the hard way exactly how difficult this planet is, Maspirin, that we're going to go to. Because I do believe the last time I went there, there were troop transports and a lot of things. I may even, before we go, I may even try to get a better small vessel. Maybe a little more armored, because if you remember back earlier episode, this small vessel was like the cheapest that you could build. And since then we've acquired a lot of resources, and this thing just like that, it took a few shots. I probably lost a rocket launcher, or who knows what else. So it may not be a bad idea while I'm getting those crystals refined, is to go ahead and throw another one in queue, a better one, a better prefab. I'll have to take a look at what's available, and then maybe we can strap that onto our capital vessel and take it out with us when we go to that planet to kind of fly around to different points. maybe even we may have to plant our capital vessel and leave it running so they can defend us while we're mining, because I'm going to take my hover vessel as well. And if we can find the Zascosium mine somewhere, we'll just land down next to it, drop off the hover vessel, mine it up as fast as we can, and see what kind of trouble we can get into up there. Let's go back to our base. First I need to find the base. Get these crystals going again. So we're going the right direction. It's easier if you can remember the way your island looks, you know, where you're at, to just get there that way. So that mid part of the ship, we'll have to come check that out at some point too and see what's in there, if there's anything worth having. We may just take it apart and scrap it. Find the control block. Epsilon Comm Center. Where do we find that's the question. Okay, it's off to the north. So I'm just gonna keep on getting it. Make sure we didn't get turned around. Oh, we're still going right. So we'll be back to the base here in about 60 seconds. When we land, the first order of business is gonna be finding the crystals, and then I'm gonna take a look through the different prefabs, see what resources I have, maybe what I need, and then we'll get that thing underway. Usually those prefabs, though, they do take a couple hours to complete, so I won't make you suffer through a couple hours of that while we wait on it. Of course, there's a lot of other things I'll be doing in the meantime while we are waiting on that to complete. But there's a base right there. Right. Well, that was a good trip. You know, I was able to was only attacked by 3 or 4 drones while I was up there. And when I went to leave, I figured I'd fly around, see what's around us, and that's when I came across that drone base. Thought I would start the recording back up again. Let's see, here we go, right here. Yeah, I never did even take the rockets out from hours and hours ago to put in our thing. Of course, I don't even know if let's see how many of these we can make. How many does each one make? Okay, it's just 1 for 1, so that's more than what we're gonna have. So stop the recording, get that going, look at a prefab, get that going as well, and then we'll start it back up and take a trip to another planet. All right, now we are back. I have the small vessel created, ran into a couple issues with it. It was too wide to fit on my capital ship in the landing area, so I had to take the wings off, so it looks a little wonky. I don't know why I use that word wonky, but we got our warp drive filled up with crystals in the meantime while we were waiting on that. We got installed 2 flak cannons on this thing because all we had were a couple cannons and a couple rocket launchers. I thought we might need more than that. Let's go down here real fast. We're going to go to our auto miner and unload it. And I don't know why at this point I have not made more auto miners, but I need to do that. We're going to unload all of these. I can almost use more of these. I'm going through so much of this hydrogen. You almost can't have enough of these hydrogen generators. All right, let's throw this in the constructor. We'll get a little bit more fuel making while we were away. Need to finish this base up at some point too. There's just not enough time, not enough hours in the day, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so let's click on this. Let's click on that, and we'll do 200. Let's shoot over to our auto miner, and then Let me get my timer going so I don't run over. Then we're going to head out to the new planet. Hopefully we... See, the ship looks a little bit weird without wings on the side, but it's alright. Flies just fine without the wings. Not a big deal. That's a really fortunate thing on this game that there are no physics on the ships as far as that goes. Now, there is weight. You do have to be careful about the weight and the amount of thrust that you have and that sort of thing. But as far as having wings, not being able to fly because there are no wings. There's a raptor just sitting there protecting our auto miner. There's another one over there. It's going to be coming this way now. We'll just land real quick. Matter of fact, let's land right here so I can just jump out the back. I kind of don't like the design of this ship now that we're... you know what, let's load that back up. Now that it's done, I don't know. It's okay. Like, you know, I'll probably end up removing all this stuff and sticking it in a floor or a wall or something, but it's okay. It's a lot better than our last ship. Prefabs are just prefabs, you know, you're not going to get what you want unless you make your own ship. We'll eventually dive into that, but for right now, this is what it is. So let's get our landing on here. Get her docked up. See how close it is right here. Now I could remove some blocks and make that work, but not a big concern. It fits. You know, I could remove these blocks over here and absolutely make it work. So I think we're all fueled up. Well, we're ammo. Everything's full. Well, not full, but we have plenty of ammo to do what we need to do. Warp crystals. We have some extra ones on here just in case we run out, because I think we might. Matter of fact, let me check real quick before I go taking off and get to a planet that I can't get back from, because we'd have to start from scratch. Okay, we have plenty. We have plenty. Good, good, good. Make sure everything is good in our inventory. We're going to dump this off. We're going to go ahead and stick our helmet on now, so I don't forget, because I'm very forgetful with the helmet. I need to cut some of these trees down that are in our way. But we're going to head to a nasty, nasty planet, and I don't know what's going to happen. Put some flat cannons on the back to kind of protect our rear end. Felt like, you know, I needed something. I know the guns all rotate, but just in case, you know, I probably need to hop in those flat cannons and do a reload. I don't know if they will automatically reload just because there's ammo in the bin once you install them. I'm sure the prefab ones that are on here do. Let's level her on out. Let us change our view. Alright, so flak turret. Access. Reload. Flak turret, access, reload. And let's just make sure the cannons are loaded up too, since we're doing this. Yeah, they're loaded. Check on the rocket turrets as well. Just don't want to... Oh, they aren't reloaded. Okay. Well, it's a good thing I checked. You know, we want to make sure we're armed to the teeth, because I don't really know what to expect on this planet. I just remember when Old Crow and I went to This planet before, we were almost boarded by a troop transport. And that would be bad news for us here on a single player. Yeah, okay, nice. So this has pretty good view all the way around. Surely our flak turrets do as well. Okay, well, let's bring up the star map here. And first we're going to have to jump to Skillen, then Adis, and then Empyrion. So let's do that. Let's lock on. Let's see where it has us locked on at. It's over here. Press K and hold on. All right. Whoa, it said something and I missed it. What did it say? It's like a fighter had been. We're gonna lock on and get out of here fast. I don't want to have to fight anything along the way. Once we get, we're gonna have to refuel the warp tank, because we're not gonna have enough fuel to get back if we do not. It's pretty cool looking stuff out here. Look at all these asteroids, though, man. Strap a drill on this thing, we could oh, I don't even have enough right now. Okay, so that was a long leap. So let's run back here. I need to make sure I have enough to get here and get back. I should have done the math on that before just taking off. So 183 left. I didn't even take all of what I had. I just took what I thought would be enough. We'd certainly be in a fix if it didn't. Good thing is, though, I have plenty of fuel on here, and if I needed to, I have a constructor right here. We could just go get some crystals from a moon, load them in there, and go. Let me stick these back in here. Leaves us. That should leave us plenty to get back. I should have done the math before I left. I just thought, I said, hey, you know, I have to have plenty to get there and get back. Did not really. So here we go. Get to it. Okay, it said a freighter had been, you know, located or whatever. Freighters. So the freighter, depending upon the one it is, I took one out with a small vessel the other day. I think I was mentioning that before. It was actually very easy. I didn't lose many parts on the small vessel, and then what I did lose was my fault once I got on there. But I rushed it. And once I got close to it, I just sucked up right to the back end of it, got real close, hugged up to it, and started firing at the boosters in the back. And once I took the 3 main boosters out, I fired a little bit more because I was going to make an opening to get inside. And what I found was the control block. So I took the control block out and just had my way with it. And so it was pretty simple to take that freighter out. Now the other ships, the Marauders or whatever they might be called, is a little different because they're shaped differently and they have guns on like 4 sides. Oh, there's something else is burning up going into the atmosphere as I was entering. So from what I know, this is a very dangerous planet. There's already a POI right down there. I don't know. You know, this is all you're seeing this as I'm seeing it. You know, I just have been here for a very short time. That looks like a troop transport over there, maybe? Who knows what that is, but we need to go east-west. I think because that ship is flying, we're going to go this way. Try to take the easy route just to get some more Zescosium, because I've used all that I had. I have no more. The guns are just firing away. Copper, silicon. Let's get down a little bit closer to the surface. Don't get too close. It's just firing at alien life forms down there, predators or whatever. Nothing too serious thus far. I hope I did this right. It may even be the moon of this planet that has a Zescosium. I really should have Googled before doing this. But it's cool to see another planet anyway. Really kind of curious as to what this was like. Iron, cobalt, silicon. Guns just firing away. That's okay. Man, they're firing both directions. Not gonna lie, a little bit nervous here with this on this planet. Don't know what to expect. I don't know what kind of creatures or ships. None of that. If I don't find any Zescosium here in a moment, then I'll know it's not here. And we'll take off to the moon real quick and see if we can't locate some up there, because I do believe it's on the moon of this planet and not the actual planet. That's fine though. We got to see kind of what it looks like down here. It looks pretty cool. A troop transport. We're gonna get out of here. So I'm almost positive that it's on the moon anyway. Troop transport's gonna have to run me down into space, and he's gonna have a bad time when we get into space, because I have some guns that can only be fired in space, and they're big guns. Almost out of the atmosphere now, and then we'll make a beeline for the moon. Okay. Now the moon. We're only using 3% power up here. Just kind of cruising along. Yeah, alright, so that's it right there. I was looking at the map and trying to decipher that. So we'll be there in just a moment. And then we'll take a fly around. I'm sure there's more than likely going to be troop transports on the moon too. And I keep saying that. I don't know anything about them other than old Crow said they could board your ship. So when he told me that, I thought, man, I don't really know where they'd land on this thing. I guess there's plenty of flat surfaces on the top where they could land if they did. Only time I encountered one, I had to do some juking and some jiving, maneuver so that the guns could take it out over time. We're almost here. Empyrion's moon. Looks like we're going to end the episode here in just a couple minutes, and then we'll pick up next episode here and perhaps do some mining. It's going to be tricky. You know, we'll just have to leave our capital vessel running to defend us. Boy, look at this moon. This is pretty cool looking. What is that thing down there? It's probably not friendly, whatever it might be, so we'll just keep our distance from that. I may actually need to strap some more guns on the underneath portion of this thing. There's Zascosium right there. I think it's protected by that POI, whatever that is, that we went by. Maybe not. Looks like a drone base or something. Ghost Rider Defense. Zascosium ore. Oh man, not good. Not good at all. We want to show our underside. We want to keep it up like that. What we may have to do... Boy, just took a huge shock right there. It did a lot of damage. So that thing is highly defended. That Zascosium over there. There's another one over here. And I don't know what this is behind us. Let me click on the map and see. That's just a drone, okay. So this one, these two are going to certainly be in range of that Ghost Rider defense. Now I could take the capital vessel or the small vessel and go over there and try to take that out. I'd be willing to sacrifice that. But the capital ship, I don't want it to take much of a beating. Not at this point in the game. I want to try to preserve this thing as long as I can. Well, this looks like a safe one, and it's 20,000 deposit here. My goodness. Oh, Ghost Rider defense is still close. Still really close. Oh, I hope we can find another one somewhere. Either that or I'm just going to have to take it out. Well, let's go ahead and call the episode now. And when we come back, more than likely, I'm going to take the small vessel and see if I can destroy that Ghost Rider defense. And then we'll have 3 Zascosium ore deposit right together. So let's get our land here. Let's land in a safe location. If possible. I don't know if there's any safe location on this planet, but safe as it can be. And we're going to leave her idling. Nice, and we'll get in our little vessel here. So this thing should shoot down any drones that approach, you know, within a certain range. We'll hop in our vessel here. Let's see if we can't take out that Ghost Rider defense. Well, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for watching. Tune in tomorrow to see if we are able to take out this crazy defense over here. I'll see you then.